Alrighty, welcome back, fellas, to another day in the NBA. We have a massive 15-game slate for Wednesday's games, February 12th in the NBA, and we are nearing the All-Star break. We are only a few days away, and yeah, we can tell, as we saw with Chicago. 50-point loss is pretty bad. 50-point, that's bad. When you're losing by 50 at halftime, it's not so hot. Recap from yesterday. Keep it quiet and simple. Missed both of our plays. Jalen Duren stopped playing in the third quarter because it was a 50-point blowout. Had 11 rebounds, so we hooked on that, sadly. If he would have played a full game normally, he would have absolutely smashed that. I still liked the read. Obviously, I didn't know it was going to be a 50-point blowout in a 4.5 point spread game. So, you win some, you lose some there. Devin Booker became prime John Stockton at the end of the game, just passing out of every shot he possibly had. Didn't really look to shoot. I didn't really expect for that to happen. He had some wide open looks too. Missed 3 wide open threes. Just wasn't his day. He also left in the second quarter, which is a little odd, but I'm not going to really overthink it. Again, it's why we get the slate small. So that way, if that happens, we have a great time to bounce back here. Now, again, even with 15 games on, I'm still only going to have 5 plays for today. I say only, but that's a pretty good amount. I know some guys are having like 10, 7, whatever amount of plays because it's such a big slate. But as you can see at the schedule to our right, or my left, I don't know, one of them besides me, there's a lot of red on the screen. There's a lot of spreads that are over 8.5, which is just kind of what we don't want to see. The only one exception that I kind of see is the Spurs. Should be a closer game than 8.5. I think that's just kind of the Boston home advantage there. The Knicks could be close. Trae Young in the Garden's always good. But again, the Knicks are just kind of the better team right now. And again, going into All-Star break, we see a lot of these games turn into blowouts as they kind of just want to get there. They just kind of want to get there. So we'll see how that turns out. I'm not going to run through every game like I normally do because we do have 5 plays today. I'm going to glance over a few that I think could be good betting lines for you guys, but I'm not going to go over all of them. Charlotte, stay away from. The Pacers, Wizards, stay away from. Spurs, I like the Spurs plus 8.5. I think the Spurs are going to come in and give a pretty good fight here. Cleveland, stay away from. The 76ers are benching almost everybody. Stay away from. Embiid's not playing in that game. The Hawks and Knicks, Trae Young in the Garden could be interesting, but I still lean the Knicks minus 8.5. OKC, again, stay away from moneyline spread-wise. The Kings and the Pelicans. I actually do like the Kings here at minus 4.5. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game in this one, which we will see later. But if anything, I would take the over on the total. Bucks and Minnesota. I'm going to lean Minnesota here. Again, there's no Yanni in this one, which means just I was going to lean Dame under assist. Just saying. That's where I was leaning. I didn't take it. But yeah, this team looks bad without Yanni, and I don't rely on Kyle Kuzma to really make up for that. So definitely going to lean Minnesota minus 6 there. We just saw Detroit dismantle the Chicago team. Normally the second time around, it's not as bad. But with that being said, I still like Detroit minus 6. Houston minus 6.5 for the Suns and Rockets. The Suns just aren't good. It's just straight up. They're just not a good basketball team. Lakers minus 7.5. We like that. Again, but I'm not fully in on it, so I would stay away from that game. But if you like the Lakers, minus 7.5 is not a bad value. The Trailblazers, stay away from. I think Denver wins that pretty handily. Golden State and the Mavs is a very interesting game. Jimmy, Draymond, Steph's been going off recently. Mavs are a little bit still low manned. I'm going to lean the Golden State to cover here, minus 5. And then the Grizzlies on a back-to-back versus the Clippers. I'm leading the Clippers there on the back-to-back, minus 3.5. Again, back-to-backs right before All-Star break. You don't really like to bet on those teams. We keep it pushing, and we're going to head straight into our plays and waste no more time. Oh, I also forgot the February recap. I forgot about that. So this month in the NBA, we are 23-9-3 with an ROI of plus 33.41% and a profit of 12.8 units still. So again, we're still up. We're still pretty big in the NBA. We're only going to keep building on that here on out. But I still can't emphasize how excited I am for All-Star break, but we'll keep it pushing anyway, because after All-Star break, teams really start to pick it up. We get some really good ball here in the second half of the NBA season. That's my favorite time of the NBA, is when you can see the teams that kind of are falling off the face of the earth and pick their direction, so you kind of can really understand which games to stay away from. Along with, you see the teams that are really picking it up. they're going to be able to take advantage of close games when they're scrappy games trying to get those last few seeds in the playoffs. Anyway, I digress. Heading on to our plays, we do have Zion Williamson to go over 25.5 points in this game. Again, great matchup versus the Kings. He's gone over this 5 of the last 7 games this season. He's starting to really get rolling, get comfortable with his role. No more BI. Opens up a lot more usage for him. BI just signed an insane contract, by the way. Just want to point that out there. What the fuck is both sides doing? You're signing with Toronto. They fucking stink. Toronto, why are you signing a guy that can't stay on the court in BI? I mean, it doesn't make sense. Anyway, Sacramento. Allows these 6 most points to small forwards. Yes, he's playing the small forward. I get this question all the fucking time. It's really frustrating. Without BI, he has moved to the 3. He goes between the 3 and 4 all game, but he starts at the 3. When looking at the lineup, it goes CJ McCollum, Trey Murphy, Zion Williamson, Carlo Makovic. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. I never get it right. Bear with me. And Messi, I think it's Messi, at the 5. So we have Messi at the 5, Mitrovic at the 4, Zion at the 3, Trey at the 2, and CJ at the 1. So yes, he's playing the 3 for the majority snaps. So I take the 3 snaps. What am I talking about? Of the time he's on the court. So that's where I take the stats from. But again, they're also just as bad at guarding power forwards. So there's not much of a difference. They're 6th worst against small forwards. They allowed the 6 of the last 9 small forwards to go over their point lines. They've allowed more of their power forwards to go over. So they're kind of lucky I pulled the small forwards. Zion has hit over this in 4 of the last 5 games versus Sacramento, including a 40-point bomb. Sacramento allows the 2nd most points in the paint, not the restricted area, but outside the restricted area, 42% of his shots come from there. And Sacramento also allows the 3rd most free throw attempts. We cashed this out on my birthday. This is one of the plays. February 8th. Cashed it out. So, again, I think we're going to cash out here again. Again, great matchup, high-volume matchup, high-point scoring matchup. I really like this. And also, Sacramento still has no idea how to play defense with their new rotation. They have no idea. They're trying zone. They go to man. They go back to zone. They go back to a 3-2. They go to a 2-3. Now they're back in a different zone. Now they're back in man. They have no fucking idea of what they're trying to do there, and it's very obvious, and they've allowed a lot of points. I'm expecting Zion to keep cooking. With that being said, we go to LeBron James over 24.5 points. He hooked this line versus Utah the last time they played last game, and that was with him going to the locker room for a little bit. So he went to the locker room, took a break, came back, only played about 29 minutes in this game. Again, a little bit of a blowout there as well. I don't think this one's going to be as widespread of a blowout, but it's definitely going to be in blowout potential. But I do feel like LeBron over 24.5 points here. Again, he's hit over this mark in 3 of the last 4 games versus Utah. And we still have to remember that Luka is on a minutes restriction. He's coming back from a calf injury. He's not going to be full usage. So they're still going to have to rely on LeBron a lot in this game for the point scoring aspect. Again, Utah's also the 2nd worst defensive rating in all of the NBA. So, I mean, Utah's just a great matchup. They allow the most points, in transition, which is where LeBron scores most of his points nowadays, which is 22%. He's averaging over 20 field goal attempts per game in his last 10 games. I expect him to continue to do that and crush this mark. Heading on to our next play, Draymond Green over 12.5 RA. I didn't know if I wanted to go rebounds. I didn't know if I wanted to go assists. There's a little more value here. There's a little different value here, but I like this, but I like that. So then I was like, all right, at the end of the day, I want to just combine the two and I take both of them. That's where I'm at. All right, but he's moving to the center right now. Draymond is playing the 5. What that lineup looks like, for those that are asking. We have Steph Curry at the 1, Buddy Hield at the 2, Moses Moody's playing the 3, while Jimmy's at the 4, and Draymond is playing the 5. That is how the rotation is breaking down right now. PJ Washington's questionable going into this game, but I expect him to play. There's going to be a lot of small ball lineup in this game. With the small ball, leads to some easy rebounds, some easy assists, right? Dallas allows the 2nd most assists to opposing centers this season. That's perfect for Draymond. Not only that, but they allow the 8th most rebounds to centers. All right, we're on the right track. Draymond averages 10 rebound chances and 10 potential assists in his past 10 games this season. So he's averaging 20 chances a game. And with Jimmy, so far in those 2 games he's played with him, he's had back-to-back games of 23 total chances, rebound, and assist chances to hit over this line. If you're seeing 23 chances to hit 13 RA, I feel great about that line. Give me 10 of buffer in a great matchup as well, in a matchup where there's probably going to be a lot of breaks as well. So we'll see what Draymond can end up doing. I really like both of his lines here. and getting good value on it at -113 on FanDuel. I feel great about this spot. So yeah, love Draymond here as a starting small ball 5. Our next play is going to be Isaiah Hartenstein to go over 11.5 rebounds. You know we're going to take the wagon here. There's not much to say outside of he's playing Miami, who are the 5th most rebounds this season. He had 18 rebounds the first time they played. 8 of the last 10 games he's hit over this mark, as well as 5 of the last 6 centers have hit over this mark versus Miami. Again, the spread is sketchy. 12.5 is a lot of points, but I still think he's going to see a ton of volume. This OKC team over the past month, even in blowouts, has played pretty deep, especially SGA plays like the entire game, every single game for no reason. But Hartenstein's doing a lot of the same, where he's just seeing a lot of tick. Even when they're up by 15, when they're up by 20, he's still in the game for a little bit longer than you would expect. So I'm going to lean into those minutes, into that volume, and take Hartenstein here over 11.5 rebounds. And this could be a sneaky good game. You never know. OKC's just been an absolute powerhouse recently. But again, he's now facing Ware instead of facing Bam at the 5, so it's a little bit different. He's a 7-footer versus a 6'9" guy. I still think Hartenstein is the more experienced going against the rookie. He's going to have a pretty good day. With the next play, we're going to go with a plus money under. I don't take a lot of unders this season. I haven't really loved them. I don't really like the value on the overs. Last year, I was an under god, and I did literal full slips of just unders. This year, I haven't really found the value in it, but we are going to be taking Chris Paul under 6.5 assists at plus 110. So we got a good value here on ESPN Bet with Fox. He's seen 8, 7, 5, and 12 potential assists in games. He's had one game over 10 potential assists, and he needs to get 7 assists in this game. So if he has 8 potential assists in this game, he needs to convert 7 of 8 passes into points. If he has 7 potential assists in this game, he needs to convert all 7, go 100%. If he converts 5 potential assists this game, no chance he fucking hits. And if he converts 12, he needs to go 7 for 12, which still is a low margin. Boston also allows the second fewest assists to point guards. We also hammered an under on Darius Garland against Boston, ended up cashing that on the assist because they allow the fewest to assist to point guards in the past 7 games. With them being healthy now, they just don't allow a ton of assists. 12 of the last 13 point guards have gone under on their assist line versus Boston, and Boston allows the 3rd fewest assists this season. And you know why I feel great about this line? You know why I feel awesome about it? Because Chris Paul has hit it all season. He's hit it in 76% of games. 76% of games he's gone over this line. So you're probably like, why would you fade it now? That's what Vegas wants. They want you to take these lines because he's hit them in the all season. Despite having the matchup be horrible over the past recent times. With Fox added, hasn't been seeing the potentials, has really not been seeing the volume either, right? And goes into a horrible matchup, but he's hit it all year. He's got to hit it again. No, we're going to take the under here. I think this is a great play. And hopefully going to end up being a good read by Guttas. All right. Full recap, Chris Paul, Isaiah Hartenstein, Draymond Green, LeBron James, and Zion Williamson is what we're going to stick with. Be wary of blowouts over the next 2 days. We're going to try to be careful here, try to keep it a little bit lower. Tomorrow, I'm probably only going to have 2 plays again. Just again, keep it close to the chest when we get closer to these games, to these all-star breaks, because teams start to give up a little bit and impact the bags beforehand, before their 5-day break. So with that being said, those are our plays for today. Make sure to let me know what you guys are taking in the comments below and what you guys think of these games or these bets or these lines. If you have questions, make sure to drop them down. I'll try to get to you as fast as possible. And I'll catch you guys next time. Make sure to like, subscribe. All those are the fun shit down below. Peace.